As we stand on the precipice of the 2025 Formula One season, the driver lineup is far from settled. The chessboard of the driver market, always a fascinating spectacle, is still in flux, while some of the most coveted pieces, such as Lewis Hamilton and Fernando Alonso, have already inked their future with their respective teams. There are still some tantalizing prospects up for grabs. One such prospect is Carlos Sainz, whose future remains a hot topic of discussion. Despite positive affirmations from his camp, Max Verstappen's future with his team is shrouded in uncertainty. This volatile situation could potentially trigger a domino effect, causing a reshuffle of drivers across the grid, including those in the backmarker teams. With this backdrop, let's delve into the possible scenarios and how they could influence the future trajectory of the respective teams. Carlos Sainz, the Spanish maestro, has been a standout performer in the initial races of the season. Realizing that his future beyond 2024 is not set in stone, Sainz has been driving with a renewed vigor and determination. Amid the turmoil at Red Bull and the vacant seat at Mercedes, it appears that the Audi project may not be the ideal fit for the smooth operator after all. Sainz has candidly admitted that he intends to bide his time, keenly observing how the situation unfolds at the Austrian and Brackley-based squads. He has no intention of spending his prime years battling at the back of the grid and building a team from scratch. According to Sainz, all his preferred options are still on the table, so there's no need to rush into a decision. Valtteri Bottas, one of the drivers potentially at risk from Sainz's decision, believes that the Spaniard will wait for Mercedes and Red Bull to make their moves before making a final decision on Audi. Interestingly, Audi has reportedly issued an ultimatum to Sainz. They are keen to assert their dominance and send a clear message to the F1 world that they won't be kept waiting indefinitely to finalize their driver lineup. The reasoning behind Sainz's patience becomes clear when considering the rumors of a potential collaboration between Verstappen and Mercedes. This would open up the most competitive seat on the grid. Christian Horner, Red Bull's team principal, has stated that they will be closely monitoring Sainz as a potential candidate for their team. The internal power shift at Red Bull has created a vacuum, providing an opportunity for other teams to capitalize on the Austrian team's predicament. Following the departure of Adrian Newey, Verstappen could be the next piece to fall from the Red Bull puzzle. Even if this doesn't happen, the second seat at Red Bull is always a question mark, especially now that Sergio Perez's request for a 3-year contract has been rejected. Sainz could potentially settle for the second seat at Red Bull, which currently appears to be the most competitive option on the grid, barring Verstappen's seat. If Mercedes doesn't undergo significant changes and decides to promote Kimi Antonelli to F1 from 2025 onwards, this could have serious repercussions for Bottas, possibly even leading to his exit from F1. If all preferred options fall through for Sainz, his only remaining choice would be the Audi project, leaving Bottas in a precarious position of having to find another seat, a daunting task given the current opportunities. While some have suggested that Bottas could be the 2025 Mercedes driver to help them resolve their car issues due to his experience, this seems highly unlikely. The realistic scenario for Bottas is that he will either drive for Audi, a team he's in constant talks with, or face the possibility of retiring from the sport. However, according to Bottas, the talks with Audi are progressing well, and contrary to the general opinion of the F1 media, he's in discussions with other teams, keeping all his options open. In this storm of speculation and uncertainty, it's not just the big names that are affected. Some drivers, such as Zhou Guanyu, who has failed to perform at Bottas's level throughout the 2024 season, and Logan Sargent, who's had a disappointing campaign with Williams, could end up as collateral damage. As we move closer to the 2025 season, the driver market promises to be a thrilling spectacle, full of intrigue and suspense. One must not overlook the contractual situation of Kevin Magnuson. The Danish driver, who faced criticism for his team game in Miami, is out of contract in 2024 and has yet to renew with the American squad, Haas F1 team. With the impressive debut of Oliver Behrman and the departure of Nico Hülkenberg, it seems that Magnuson, often referred to as the Viking, could face significant pressure from another rising star. Haas has been open about Magnuson's future, stating that it's uncertain whether their collaboration will extend beyond 2025. Despite this, Magnuson remains optimistic, expressing his belief that he will continue to drive for Haas. He acknowledges the change of scenery and his slightly less consistent performance compared to Hülkenberg, who scored the majority of points for Haas in 2024. However, he emphasizes the team's progress and his hope to build on it. While there are no specific talks yet, Magnuson points out that being part of a team means constant communication. He also notes the openness of the market, with many seats and drivers available. However, if you were to ask Komatsu, the new team principal of Haas, his views might not be very favorable for Magnuson. Komatsu has stated that there are 2 vacant seats in the team. While this might seem like good news for Magnuson, Komatsu's vision for the team is to sign a driver who is willing to develop the squad from scratch, with a strong emphasis on work ethic. This suggests that Haas might be considering a return to their roots, with 2 rookie drivers eager to prove their F1 mettle, including Behrman, or pairing the young Brit with a driver like Bottas, Ricciardo, or one of the 2 Alpine drivers who find themselves in an intriguing situation. There's a fascinating scenario that could see 2 former Red Bull teammates reunite at Williams, largely due to Alpine's disappointing 2024 season. Pierre Gasly has expressed his dissatisfaction with how the season has been progressing and has been vocal about the problems the French squad is experiencing. This has led to speculation about a potential exit from Alpine and a move to Williams. While Williams is not currently performing better than Alpine, it could provide more opportunities for Gasly to grow as a driver. After all, Alpine has struggled to understand the platform they're working with, while Williams has shown that they can compete in the midfield when the time is right. If they could secure Gasly, it would mean that 2 competitive drivers could push the Grove-based squad back into the midfield, potentially competing with teams like Aston Martin and Racing Bulls, instead of languishing at the back and failing to score points. With many moving pieces and a host of new drivers potentially making their debut from 2025 onwards, possibly with 2 F2 drivers being promoted to Haas and Mercedes, this is undoubtedly an exciting period for the sport. The new generation is ready to take the stage and shake things up. With this in mind, what changes do you anticipate for 2025? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below.